And I'm live. All right. Thank you that the camera's on. Um, oh, my mouse. All right. God bless and welcome to the another one. That this time we talk about the addition from sexual immorality, marriage, and all of that to now you either gonna have a kid or not. That it's gonna be you're gonna either be barren or you're gonna reproduce, and it's gonna be about and it's gonna have what there was in the scripts. So let's see. What? Where my stuff at? Okay. That's why I was wondering where'd it go? Oh. So back again, that's what I said. The things: wombs, belly, miscarrying womb, conceived, conception, conceiving, loins, seed, bowels, suckling, sucking between the feet, weaned, go in unto pains, pangs, labor. So this goes with work too, but it goes with with childbirth. Um, untimely birth, things like that, right? So um, it's a lot of things, childbearing, right? So I ain't gonna spend too much time on the PowerPoint. Eventually, I'm gonna have it on there, and I'm not gonna have the words crossed off, so you'll be able to see the words better. Um, but that's just for me to keep up for with the word, the things that I did get, to keep track of it. All right. So now I want to go to this. Now I'm gonna start with Genesis 3:15 just to kick it off. What started me on this was Exodus with the midwives in the beginning of Exodus, and then I started to realize, like, wait, Rebecca had a nurse, and God was having control of, Sarah was barren. You know what I'm saying? People was conceiving, and I started to notice that it was a collection on there, and then there a topic was born. But again, like born again, and going through that process, and the process of that, of like child growth development, and what I'm saying, early childhood and stuff like that, right? Breastfeeding, and what I'm saying, the menstrual cycle, and so then I just started to put all of that together, and what I'm saying. So this is like it's not a part two or a part three, but it's the extension of it. Like, what I'm saying, it's another member of the body of, what I'm saying, like you have a head, but what I'm saying, it's many members on the head though. Like it's a skull and a brain, and what I'm saying, it's different parts that's on the head though. So, or so like that's how it is though. That's how. So this goes. It connects with that, with sexual immorality, fornication, or marriage, and then from that you have then then from the loins, the fruit of your loins, you have seed, and then the womb, and then all, and so like that though. So eventually I'm gonna get the cards, what I'm saying. It's a scattered deck right now, but eventually I'm gonna get it combined and together though. So I just gotta throw these out there because, you know, just got to. Um, so this is when this with the dialogue and the with the serpent, right? Where I thought naked, then I got to see where I want to start it at so we could get the point. The point is 15, 16. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. So that's the key word. And sorrow shalt thou bring forth children. That's another key word. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Okay, so that's why we know that. So that's why that happens like that. So that's why. So then that goes to the PowerPoint where it say like pangs, and that's mostly how it be in labor. So so that's the reason right there. Believe it or not, it happens. So you cannot ascribe to it. You know what I'm saying? No one's making you. It's not taken from the truth. This is not a population of if more people believe it, then it's gonna make it true or nothing like that. This mug gonna be true anyways. I mean, that's what really happens. So and Adam knew Eve, this Genesis 4:1, and Adam knew Eve, his wife. Remember, that's not the fornication, that's the new is the, and his wife, you know what I'm saying? And she conceived and bare. That's another key word, bear. She conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground, right? So, and this is talking about fruit. Came to pass, Cain brought fruit of the ground, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the same process. The earth is considered as a her, which is a personification that goes into English. The earth is a her. So you put the seed in the ground and it bear fruit. And that's the same thing with the womb. You put the seed from the man in the woman, and then it'll say like the fruit of her womb. So which is the child, so it's like the same process. But on this, the fruit is more is fruit on these. So, so going down, you know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I'm saying? So that stuff right there, that type of stuff, that's Department of Agriculture, which is, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like husbandry, having farms. They got, sheep and cattle and, you know what I'm saying, stuff that be on the farm, sheep, horses, cattle, you know what I'm saying, crops. So let me see. So flocks and stuff and so this with this. So he going down. So that's the part where so now I ain't looking for none of that right now. So let me see. 17 through 26. So Cain knew his wife, she conceived and bare Enoch, and he built a city. So a lot of this stuff going, you know what I'm saying? Lamech took unto him to 2 wives. So that stuff I read that already though, but mostly conceive is that word that I'm looking for. Let me see, Genesis 5. Then I'm gonna go to some other ones because I'll be doing a lot of Genesis stuff. But like just to show though that off tops, this this stuff is. Hold on. I think I got another one. I thought I was typing one already. I'm kind of wondering where it's at. It's probably stuff down here. What? I was typing something already. So hold on, man. Because I thought I was typing something about this. I'm trying to see. Oh, so I guess I wouldn't. All right, no, I didn't. All right, excuse me. So, let me go put this down. So then now just say 5, 3 through 32. All right. So the man this is the book of the generations of Adam. So generations, that's kind of family. In the day that God created man in the likeness of God made he him, male and female created he them, and blessed them and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130, begat a son, his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. In the days of Adam after he had begotten, that's the one key word, Seth word, 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. That's another word. So this is the genealogy of it. I don't know if I'm gonna put genealogies and generations in with this, or if I'm gonna put it with family, because it's kind of together though, because you kind of need sex, and then it's with the reproductive part of what this is about, and then it is family. But it's so much that, like, you know what I'm saying, they still kind of separated, even though they together is like a order to it. It's still so much contained in each one though. Like, so yeah, that's through 32, which is basically this whole chapter of saying that, you know, he begat, they begat. Oops. So let me go down to some, you know, some more not so obvious stuff. Let me get up out of Genesis, even though it's a lot going on in it. Let me go to something like it say like between the feet and stuff. So Deuteronomy 28, one of the curses, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherein thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. So that's one of them that's concerning, you know what I'm saying, pregnancy and conception and stuff like that. So Deuteronomy 28, I will make sure I have that. I will go to it, 28:57, and I have it. So, you know what I'm saying? And then I think that's mostly the only one. That's saying like between the feet. But I ain't about to go through those though. All of those. Go back. I'm about to go back to something else. Let me see. Let me go to like First Kings or something. You know what I'm saying? Incidents of like, you know, or even sometimes like even when it's like young children that like I'm gonna do these Samuels. First Samuel 1:5-6. That even sometimes First Samuel 1. That even sometimes that now there was a certain man of Ramoth. I don't know which one. I don't know where it's dashed at though. Ramothium Zophim. Yeah, it's probably dashed right here between here, of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, and the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu. Hold on real quick.
The first book of Samuel, chapter 1.
I'm going to let them say it.
Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zoph, an Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah. But the Lord had shut up her womb.
See? So that's something that we got a lot of medicine information and knowledge, but we don't care to think that the Lord had shut up her womb, or the Lord had opened the womb, or the Lord smoked the child. We don't think of that, because with David, the first kid, the Lord smoked the child. We don't think of that though. But then you know, I'm gonna get to it. When we had those other situations of when the 2 ladies came, when the 2 harlots came to Solomon, and one of them had rolled over on a, you know what I'm saying, they rolled over on a kid, which is what we be saying, that, you know, you should really have your kid in the crib, you know, in a separate place. Because she said, hey, she overlaid her kid, and then she go take mine and put the dead one under me, and then I'll get up to give my kid suck, and it's dead. And I'm like, man, this ain't my kid. You know, so like this that stuff, breastfeeding, and you know, we have we have people like Elizabeth, and you know, a lot of people, even when we talk about Mary, it's all of these, about to put them together, and you know, I'm gonna have to get better in my reading to where, you know, because this he doing,
and her adversary
not better, but like, you know, I rather
also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as
we got Sarah was barren, but Hagar conceived. Rachel was barren, you know, for a minute. She didn't conceive, so Leah kept on having kids. So, you know, it's a lot of that going on, you know.
he did so year by year when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept, and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way, and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early, and worshipped before the Lord, and returned, and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up. For she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned.
Oops. I tried to do something else. Dang. I don't think it's going.
The first book of Samuel, chapter 1.
I can't even just.
Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim, Zophim.
I tried to click on another tab. I had to do something. So then that's another word, weaned. So that was pretty much the end of it. And I can't zoom it up because I was thinking about I tried to put another keyword on my thing that where it say where they cast their young, you know, because I have it with I have it with what's it called too, with animals as well. That was part of the blessings. The Lord said they will not cast their young. So that was pretty much the end of that one though. Now 2.
1 Samuel chapter 2. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoiceth in the Lord. Mine horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over mine enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee, neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry ceased, so that the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth, and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave, and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor, and maketh rich. He bringeth low, and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the child did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came, while the flesh was in seething, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, Give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. And if any man said unto him, Let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth.
All right, so it's for the most part on this one, on this chapter. Oh, here, go down here. So, you have verse 20 and 21. And Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife, and said, The Lord give the seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their home. And the Lord visited Hannah, so that she conceived and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. So that's that's the development. Excuse me. Now this goes into fornication. And Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And then this is him parenting. So this is the, what I'm saying, when you do have children, this is how you do them. That you're supposed to deal with each other. When you a child, deal with your parents. When you a parent, deal with your children. So the child, verse 26, and the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men. Dang, what the heck? No, verse 30. 2. Wait, let me check. 33. Okay, so hold on. Now this is dealing with family now. Did he say that thy house and the house of thy father shall walk before me forever? But now the Lord saith, Be it far from me, for them that honor me will I honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm and the arm of thy father's house, that there shall not be an old man in thine house. And thou shalt see an enemy in my habitation, and all the wealth which God shall give Israel. So that goes into riches. And there shall not be an old man in thine house forever. And the man of thine whom I shall cut off from mine altar shall be to consume thine eyes and to grieve thine heart. And all the increase of thine house shall die in the flower of their age. Oh, that's more of development that goes, you know what I'm saying? That's like life stage development or something like that. So and then it goes all the way to the part. So it goes from from being born to all the way through to growing up, and um then the death. Then the death part has its own section. No, so increase of thine house. That's going to wealth. Um, so let's see, two. Let me see what 420 saying, and then I'm gonna try to find some other ones of like different points. 420. Fear not, for thy house born at the time. And about the time of her death, the woman that stood by her said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast born a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. And she named the child Ichabod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, The glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. Okay. So this is she about to become a widow, and the child about to be fatherless. And then I think too, and going to like fatherless and widows, that goes into family, which is like with like Esther. And even Lot too was fatherless. And Abraham, you see, Abraham took him under his wing, but then eventually, like, you don't got the baby ever though. So if I go to this, you know what I'm saying, you can go to this to learn. This is my first time seeing this. I usually be try to find something on YouTube. That this is terminology. Oh yeah, when you be gravid. So primigravida. A primigravida is a woman who is pregnant for the first time or has been pregnant one time. Multi or secundi, more than one time. For the past 20, and then the stages of gestation, stillbirth, trimester. So them ain't a lot. Hold on, what the heck? Others donation. Yeah. So then you can have pediatrics afterwards. So so for the most part, that's how that is. Let me see. Let me go to some more. Let me see. I'm just gonna try to grab some random one. Most of them is just like, so then when you go down here to the gospel, the Lord saying like, blessed is the barren. Let me go to like Matthew 9 and Matthew 9:20. That it's gonna be time you say, blessed is the barren though. Like, so that's how this goes though. I'm gonna make it, I got to make this a little more clearer and better though. It's been 30 minutes. So Matthew, and then that, like, I learned this stuff myself too afterwards, like, because I got it from I should go to Exodus. So 920. So it start off with, say, and behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. Okay. So this dealing with reproductive more so than just, so this dealing with the woman body part that, so now this is another, this is another part that, like, that's dealing with it. So now I'm dealing with menstrual cycle and flowers and, issue of blood and the uncleanness, like how David was at first. The woman was clean, was of her was washing because she was coming off her uncleanness. um I don't know if I want to show this though, because um but you have cups, and so hopefully people don't be, what I'm saying, tripping, what I'm saying, with this stuff. But you have these now. This must say certified and everything. So um so and actually, because some people, like, you could be able to raise a daughter too, like, and even though Jacob had other wives, when Rachel, I mean, dang, that's not a daughter anyway. Rachel, when Rachel died, um I mean, yeah, Rachel died giving birth to Benjamin. That's a man, but still though, like, you can still know what to do with a daughter. So you have discs and cubs. So, like, I just don't. Some women crazy, you know what I'm saying, and you don't want to. It's already a thing out there with the spaghetti and all of that. So with this actually collecting, you really don't want to be showing this to no crazy woman. Especially when a person, when a dude sit there and and be serving his belly, his own belly, she might whip you up something and be talking calmly to you and serve you and give you a kiss on the cheek and everything, tell you to enjoy and all of that. And you sit there and she didn't dump this in there. Like, so hopefully, women don't beat, but everybody's not godly. So I'm kind of scared because not everybody know about that neither, about this either. So but that's dealing with that. The minstrel. Let me go to so if I was to have a daughter, I would know how to, do that. So then when it comes to, like, the paps, the teats, the weaned, sucking and suckling, that's breastfeeding. All of that have to do with breastfeeding. Matthew 11:11 that I'm gonna go to. So all of that's dealing with breastfeeding. So I would see of that too. I mean, you still got to know how to, like, that would bring easement to your wife too, that you would kind of know what to do, or, what I'm saying, so that's how we got to start putting in work. I don't have no children though, or never knowingly had a girl pregnant. So I don't know, like, I'm just trying to encourage people that is in them situations though, like, that you would you know what I'm saying, that we got to start stepping up our game, because you can't go by with the woman. They having a harder battle because they the weaker vessel. So the devil gonna go after them more than just like the devil would tempt us more than he would try to go after Christ. even though he still did. Even though he still tempted Christ, he would tempt us. He would go after, you know what I'm saying, after us more. So when Satan asked for Peter to sift him, and when, you know what I'm saying, but Christ will pray for him to because he the stronger vessel. So that's what us as men is supposed to do for our wives, just how Christ would have protected and stood up for Peter for his soul, because that's what the marriage is with. It's the soul. It's not no homosexual thing though. It's not Peter about to be a bride on some gay stuff. Is that it's his soul. The soul is personified as a her, like wisdom and like the earth. So so um so that's how men have to protect. And so you got to know this stuff, so that the woman being tempted, you won't sit there and she be bringing you the fruit and you be eating of the fruit. You know what I'm saying? um let's see. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist, notwithstanding greater than John the Baptist, notwithstanding he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. So born of women, there you go, coming out the womb from between the feet and stuff. Let me see if I can find another one that I ain't do yet. um hmm. mostly mostly I have all of these though. Bears brought forth children, pain, sorrow. No, I ain't even about to do it because I don't want to waste time. I want to get as much out as I can though. I still got to make this better. 1125. I'm just throwing this out a little bit of, a sample. It's a little leak. So that by the time I finish it, you can at least have something to go by though. Like, instead of me waiting till I finish it, you can at least have some kind of idea of what's happening and going on, and you can do or search yourself, so that by the time you see this, it might be done though. Like, at the time, Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent and have revealed them unto babes. And that's like being a born again type. See, this labor right here, that's not the same labor. Let's see. Labour. I was wondering what, now I'm doing it. So I might find something. Let me put this in order, because I might have an understanding of where it would probably. Here we go. One. And they, Genesis 35:16. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephrat. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. So that's not the same as this. God has seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands. That's not the same as that's the same word, but it's not. It goes in different categories. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, thou shalt have this son also. Right? So, but this, Exodus 5:9, let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. That's not the same one. 6 days shalt thou labor, do all thy work. That's not the same labor. So, that's how that is, like that. Let's see if I can find another one. Oh, Job 39:16. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. But that's just one in general, though. Like, So, that's how that's going. Like that. So let me go to another one. Matthew 14:6. Matthew 14. And I'm looking for verse 6. So even when like the revelation with the church and she birthed a male child, and she grew wings, like it was like as if the doctor waiting for the delivery. Oh yeah, and delivery too is one of the main words that is talking about delivery could be redeemed, or it's talking about with delivering a child. So in that revelation, that delivery is double meaning. It's because when the child was born, that's delivery, and then when it was born, she grew wings and flew away into a so, and then that's a deliverance too, because he got her, he rescued her. Like that was like a rescue to get out of the way of that harm. So it was like double. So being born again though is of that same, the seed of the word, and it's that same process that you would go through, and that you would have all of these people involved, and then all the way to the growth. So it's that first you start with a relationship with God, and then you become espoused as I'm jealous, I espoused you as a chaste virgin, and then you start to have, relations with them, and now you born again. Now it's now it's now but now you born again, so now you got to have development. So like it's like a back and forth. First you in a relationship, and then you become the result of the relationship though. Like, so 14:6. Let me see. What Herod's brothers were kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. I think I messed up with this. I must use daughter or something, because I don't see why I would have this. Is it Matthew? Matthew 14:6. I think I messed up on that. 19:12 though. Let me keep going. Matthew 19:12. So now eunuchs. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there were some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men. And there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. So, that's where you get those key words from. Let me see if I got this Revelation one though. Was it Revelation 12? Yep, she being with there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
Revelation 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
That's the other deliverer.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Okay. So that's a lot of. So that's, even when Christ was born, the young kids got killed, and so it's not just talking about the first parts of it as the seed being pregnant, but even the early life of the child, though, and them all the way until growing up or still being a youth, though, is what was contained in this part. So the children, where it say of Rama and Rachel crying because her children were not, and stuff like that, though, like, what I'm saying, that Herod was sitting there, trying to find that. So being servants, we got to be careful, because this stuff, it looked good on the movies. You know what I'm saying? It looked good. It's action packed on the movies, but this was real. This book, real life. This not no. These not stories just to teach you a lesson. Like, this stuff really happened. That trying to kill Christ, and he had to flee to Egypt when he's still a kid, when he's still a little, an infant, and killing all of those infants and stuff. And you being a believer like this and stuff, we really going to war with this dragon. And with these beasts. So it might not be that safe in the hospital of probably knowing who you are, and it can be major people that could be chasing you, like people in high positions, like, what I'm saying, I don't want to, like, presidents and governors and kings from other countries, and, like, what I'm saying, people that got database and stuff to find you, and GPSs, and what I'm saying, that to where you gonna need God, and you gonna need obedience, and you gonna have to obey the voice of the Spirit, like how it was in the book of Acts. What I'm saying? Even your own people or regular people sit there and still and be trying to chase you down, like how the Sadducees was. What I'm saying? That, like, you gonna have to really, and you might get tired of fleeing from this city and that city. And, that's what, in a lot of persecutions, just of natural weather. That's why I say, man, blessed. It's gonna be like one. It's gonna be a point in time we're gonna say, "Blessed is the barren." So, so you know what I'm saying? It's gonna really get real with this to where like you gonna understand where it say that blesses those who hate their life or who try not to save their life. You know what I'm saying? Because running, you gonna see that it's gonna be no reason, and by you running because you a witness, you gonna understand like forget it. I'm about to turn it in. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you gonna have to. That's why a husband gonna have to lead correctly and obey God, and the wife is gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to be subject to it because it's parts in here where you know what I'm saying that God said kill the kids too. It's parts in here that God that it's allowed that they rip the womb open. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this stuff get real gritty. And what was is to come. So, you know, you gotta be like in Exodus, you know what I'm saying? The Pharaoh said when a male child be born, kill him, but keep the woman child alive. That's you know what I'm saying?
The first
You gotta have only how you get through that is with God involved, man. We're gonna have to have God involved seriously. So, you know,
letter of Peter,
gotta be careful.
chapter
Then like nowadays it's talking about on the news, it's talking about woman that they call the devil or something. I think in Mexico or something for taking kids' organs and stuff like that. Like it gets
1.
like that, man.
Peter, an
That's not
apostle of
even
Jesus
why I brought this
Christ,
lesson
to the
up.
strangers
But
scattered throughout
it just
Pontus,
came to mind
Galatia, Cappadocia,
about that.
Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Jesus Christ. Grace unto you, and peace be multiplied. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honour and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ, whom, having not seen, ye love, in whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
All right, you probably missed it though. The part it was verse 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again. Okay. And this goes into the dead, and then with resurrection and stuff too. But the next verse we looking for is 13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. And then I think it's verse 23. Yeah, and then verse 23. Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of God, which liveth and abideth forever. Okay. So I'm gonna go to a little bit more of something like this, flowers, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. So it's like one is plants, another one is so the knobs, the candlesticks, and their flowers. Nope. Candlestick, knobs, their flowers. 15, Leviticus 15:24. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. Okay. 1533. And if so, that's dealing with and how to have that's going into sexual immorality. And of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that hath an issue, of the man and of the woman, of them that lieth with her, that is unclean. So that's going together with Leviticus 15, um of the menstrual and stuff, and dealing with sex with it. Let's see, flowers. So most of that is basically flowers. So yeah, so now, um oops. So let me just do flower, and then let me see, because I don't want to be brushing off this mug. Flower to age, you come for like a flower cut down. Fading flower, that's going into temporary versus everlasting. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth. That goes into we don't live forever no more. Um, that is too. That's a precept. This a precept too right here, and this a precept right here too. That we don't live forever, but we die. And then compared to temporary, or like mortality versus immortality. 1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry. So that goes into both the sex one, and that's the whole chapter right there for real. So yeah, it's many more and plenty more. Let me see. So yeah, that, and then different pads and stuff, and then you got um then you have like parts of, dang. Then you have like parts of a, you know what I'm saying? It's parts, you know what I'm saying, the dough of the breast. So right, stuff like that. And to learn about it, and then that goes into fashion too, because you have to know which ones with certain dresses, that you can't always have straps and certain stuff showing with certain dresses. And what else? How to measure it and all of that. And what else? The reproductive system. And then the reproductive system. So all of this type of stuff, male and female, and and then this October. So not to be, not none of this is to be lascivious though. Like, it's to be like nasty and perverted and perverse. Um, what's that, like mammograms and stuff like that. So like, what I'm saying, so you have the breast, the menstrual, the the woman, reproductive, the male reproductive. Um, those things that's mentioned, in the book. So, um, breast breastfeeding, even though we considering it with breast cancer, then bras, and then you have the menstrual, the menstrual cup and disc, and and all the other pads, and tampons and stuff. And You know, this talk about the man issue and or seed and stuff like that, or call it his secrets, or you know, things like that. So all of that together, you know, that's it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So eventually you're gonna have to, with a daughter, um you're gonna have to measure her, and so she can, so that you will get, you know, the one that the size that's needed, and as well as, you know, so and then and it goes with fashion too, with knowing which ones to wear. So yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. For the battery go dead, and it's about an hour on this video. But those the components put together that you can that you would learn, be diverse in, to, you know, to know. Um, I'm trying to think if it's something else that I could say. Is it the flowers, the lawns, you know, mostly, you know, the Lord was telling Abraham, no, 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 out of your loins, out of your bowels, that I'm gonna give, because he's about to give to the inheritance to his servant of his house. Oh yeah, in the way that that people would arrange a marriage and stuff. Like Abraham sent his servant to go and get, you know what I'm saying? And then what else? With Dinah, and how they did in Shechem, how they was talking, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's different ways on how people, Jacob, Isaac and Rebecca was telling Jacob not to take of the daughters of Canaan, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that too. So, you know, so for the most part, yeah, that's how that goes, and that's what's happening. That's what's going on, and you know what I'm saying. Until we finish with this temporary world and to go incorruptible and into immortality, you know what I'm saying, man. This mug do have instructions and examples, and if you believe or not, it is still a case study, and it's general information and knowledge. But it's certain ways, being holy, that we got to deal with this. So, because a lot of people would say, well, if you put on a condom or contraceptive, then you know it won't nothing happen if you go in into her with a minstrel. But the Lord said, no, that's uncleanness. So, God bless, and be holy, stay holy, and try to obey the voice of the Spirit, man, because it gets real, man, to be witnesses and for the testimony of the Lord. We die for this. We get killed for this, man. You really be, you know, read the Bible. It really be, you know what I'm saying? So well being to you, and to you know, to glorious body.